really want to go too far on the road because we don't have 5 hours and 7 bottles of wine to figure out anything. Although I do have 5 hours and 7 bottles of wine.
Then here we go.
The bottle of wine, let's go.
I'm already lying.
If it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone,
Why must you be so stupid?
these guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan,
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Bonsa Monablitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
I got a chance to see Polar Park yesterday.
Yeah, it's a nice little place, huh?
Really nice. I popped out there and had a meeting with my guys from the credit unions and Dr. Charles, who was just, wow, that guy's got a baseball mind, man. Very cool. I'm actually gonna be back. I'm gonna be back out there for a little longer next week for a ribbon cutting ceremony and a meeting. So maybe we can go around the corner and get a hot dog.
You don't have to go around the corner. It's in the park.
No. Oh, that place is in the park?
Yeah.
Oh,
baby?
got it.
Let me do this.
They have a.
That's awesome.
All right.
Am I super loud to you guys?
No.
No. Oh, I guess it's just me then.
Turn your headphones down.
You guys are quiet, and I sound.
Can you shut the door, please?
Oh,
Hi, baby.
Thanks.
How's baby doing?
baby's in the background.
Baby's doing great. Baby spent almost a week at the Holliston Meadows Pet Resort,
Ooh,
where
big sponsor.
they thoroughly tired her out. She slept for like 2 days afterwards.
Really?
Yeah.
My dogs are usually out for about 2 days after a stay there.
So they take them out and work them.
Very
walk
nice. Yeah. They let them play.
Love it.
So that's nice.
It's a resort. It's all inclusive. All the dog food they want, you know.
Are
Right.
Drinks included.
Yeah. Drinks. Yeah.
Drinks are included.
Buffet.
Drinks and biscuits or whatever.
Oh yeah, I want to go
Holliston
to this
tap
place.
water with ice.
So you're telling me Coney Island is in the park? I walked most of it. It was empty. They've done a really good job at Polar Park, man.
Yeah. If you go by the craft beer corner, they got BT's fried chicken barbecue back there. They got Coney Island back there.
Nice.
And then I think they're going to take and move Coney Island maybe somewhere behind where all the other, like where the Wonder Bar is,
Nice.
the Nacho Man and stuff like that. They went way, way out of their way to make sure they included local businesses in the park, which was really smart.
Mhm.
And so now people really want to support the place, and they're sold out. Every game is sold out.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. they
Worcester
got
seems
a
like a very
great-
supportive city. Like Worcester loves Worcester, and they like.
Yeah, we're you know what? We're like it's like when you have a brother and people say, God, that guy's a dickhead. And you're like, fuck you. Only I can call you a dickhead.
Yeah,
or only
but
I
you were
can
just
call
punching
him
him in the face like
because he's
5
my
minutes ago.
brother. Right? So people say Worcester sucks, and I say, fuck you. But only I can say Worcester sucks because I live here.
You
know,
can't
it's
have
like
any
I'm
comment about
qualified.
Worcester unless you live in Worcester. Fucking
Right.
Shut it.
Right. You know, we don't dig that elitist 617 attitude inside 495, fucking suburban, bullshit cul-de-sac attitude. People, you say Worcester and people go, ugh. Well, when you say Sudbury to me, I go, ugh. Why would you fucking want to live in Sudbury?
Wellesley,
first of all, they probably wouldn't let me live in Sudbury.
No.
So
I think the furthest down the pike you got was Natick, and they were fucking sorry you were there.
yeah, I grew up in Natick before Natick became basically part of Wellesley.
Dude, the funniest
really
part
is.
about
It's-
fucking the funniest part about Natick is when we were doing work with the Northeastern Institute of Cannabis, and I took Mike and Danielle out to the school, and he's like, dude, mind fucking blown. I used to smoke weed behind this old building, and now I'm going to fucking school to learn about weed at the same place.
Yeah, the cops chased us into the woods behind that building.
Right.
Because we used to go there at night because everything was closed, so we could hang out in our car and smoke weed. And now I'm learning how to grow weed. It was such a mind-blowing thing. Yeah. It was cool.
And you probably knew the woods a little bit better than the cops, so you could get away quicker.
Oh, I don't know about that. Let's just say we were faster than the cops. We were teenagers. You know.
I don't get how cops run with all the stuff they have to wear.
I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? I mean, even the ones that are in shape.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, right there. They got the gun and the taser and the belt, the utility belt, and the.
I get annoyed when I have too much stuff in my pockets.
I know they got tons of stuff, and that's what they got to do, man. That's their job. They're, God bless them.
And then wearing all those clothes in the summertime, like I see them out there, and I'm like, I couldn't be a cop. The clothes alone, I would complain.
You know what's helping them out when they're standing on the street with the construction guys is getting that $75 an hour.
Yes.
That keeps them cool. That pays for the air conditioning for sure. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about them, Josh.
Can't I just fucking wear shorts as a cop, though? Come on.
I know, right? Let them wear shorts. I know.
Mr. Charlie Moore, what's up, man?
Charlie.
What's up?
Dude, your fucking hair is awesome.
Thank you.
Really. I am so jealous. I have no hair left, but I'm so jealous of your hair.
Thank you.
And I think we're around the same age, so I'm super jealous there.
We're good, man. We're fucking good. We're just yapping on this dumb podcast, doing nothing, staying at home for a while,
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good though, huh? The world's a fun place, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Hopefully it becomes a little more fun. I don't know if it's going to. We might have to go back to the unfun zone.
Fuck that. No.
I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm going to fucking Green Day tomorrow. Fuck it. Let's go.
I don't think anyone's going to do all of that again. I feel like the first time everyone was scared, and now it's just too much like a political decision.
I don't know, man. I just think it's depressing. I worry about people with mental illnesses and, the people like I used to call them in high school, the donkeys on the edge, the donkey on the edge. You don't want to fight with that guy. He's a donkey on the edge. He might kick the living crap. He was 140 pounds. The kid's beating the shit out of me. He's beating the shit out of me. So, I mean, I worry about the people who are, going through everyday life to begin with before this whole crap happened. And then, you see the suicide rates in teens are doubled and the adults have tripled. It's if you turn the news on, legitimately, I'm looking through the middle of the night for Sanford and Son. I'm looking for Happy Days and Three's Company. I'm looking for stuff I just want to watch some mindless TV and not listen to the news. Because if I listen to the news, I'm going to grab my AR-14 and I'm going to kill the entire neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Charlie, what is you're a TV guy. I mean, you're in front of the camera, you're behind the camera, you do everything that is involved in TV. You write, you do all the stuff. So what is that the stuff you like to watch on TV? Like when you're not thinking about your own show, if that even happens, what do you like to shut your brain off to and watch on TV?
Oh, I mean, I'll tell you, I really love TV. I love what it's become as far as some of the writing and the acting, the producing has been unbelievable. Loving the Apple TV, loving the whole Netflix, loving all of that. It's been amazing to see this happen in our lives. Of course, I'm an old school guy. As much as I'm, kind of like I love the new stuff, I'm so old school. The days when you would just like, hey, I'm going to the beach. I'm going down to Revere Beach. You want to come? I got his answer machine. I guess he's out. We won't talk to him till Tuesday. It's like, you couldn't get a hold of anyone. I left the message on his answer machine. I don't know if I'll hear from him. So, but I honestly, watching series is what my wife and I love to do. We got a killer kind of theater room in Florida home, and we got a killer game room here in this home. And I just kind of get down there with a bottle of wine and start watching some series and just burn through them. One series I've been watching, which is absolutely killer that you probably don't even know about. Maybe you do, but it's called C on Apple TV. Have you guys seen it all?
No.
Oh man. It's the lead actor he plays Aquaman, and he's the guy in Frontier on Netflix. He's the Aquaman lead guy. But
Jason Momoa? Is it Jason Momoa?
I think I don't know.
Okay. That big huge guy with
long hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta watch this. Just getting into that. What I try to do is, and I'm not just saying this, but it's whatever. 7 days a week, I'm doing probably 12 hours a day. Yeah. Whether it's all those things you talked about, which I'm in love with. People can't even keep up with me. I'm just gonna die of a massive heart attack one day, trying to get an ice cream cone at Dairy Queen. Hey, there's not enough Jimmy's. Boom, he's dead. That's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but this series, we sit down and try to turn my phone on vibrate, as you guys probably try to find time to disengage from reality and just kind of get into a zone and just go. And that's kind of what I do. But
what's the name of that show?
Yeah, the name of the series is called C on Apple TV. Oh, you got to watch it. I mean, it's pretty well written. It's pretty intense, and he's awesome.
He's fucking great.
Yeah, he really is. He's just awesome. But I mean, obviously, going back to my favorite sitcoms of all time would be Coach with Craig T. Nelson.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I sometimes sit there and watch that, and it brings you back to a place and a time and a vibe and a day and age when we were all, it seemed like we didn't have a care in the world,
Craig T. Nelson in Poltergeist was fucking awesome.
Right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was good in a lot of movies.
Right. That was a time when we weren't connected to everything all at once, right?
Nope.
We're connected to everything all at once. And so instead of like 4 channels and, maybe a couple of UHF channels and a VCR, right? Now it's like everything in the palm of our hand. And if it doesn't come up in 5 seconds, it sucks.
Also, it was a time where words didn't, jokes were jokes. And it was like the words didn't speak as loud as actions.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's too much.
Yeah,
we have too much, I think.
You had the shirt on. You had the shirt on for one of the podcasts, Shu. It was fucking Creature Double Feature. I mean, let's go back to Channel 56, WLBI, fucking Creature Double Feature, and Dale Dorman, Uncle Dale honking a fucking horn.
Dale Dorman.
That was it.
Yeah.
Dale Dorman, a throwback to Kiss 108.
Yeah.
Right?
Uncle Dale.
Wow. Dale Dorman.
He used to start every show with "Hi, Ma."
I love Dale Dorman. Oh my God. Times have changed. I've been hosting a TV. I left ESPN after 10 years. I was doing Beat Charlie Moore on ESPN. It was the most successful reality kind of lifestyle show they've ever had. And I left there and I went to NBC, national NBC, obviously. And I started a show called Charlie Moore, No Offense. Stuff that we did in 2012 is getting pushed back as a no-go. You take out this word, take out that, take out the sexual reference. I'm like, so we had a big meeting about a year ago with my group and all the people that are involved in my organization. Obviously, with a name called Charlie Moore, No Offense, people from Boston are gonna, we're probably gonna offend you in some way, probably just because we showed up. Yeah. So I said to everybody in the meeting, how do you offend people who don't want to be offended? And I said, well, you know what? I'll offend myself during the episode because I'm okay with that. I said, I'll just start critiquing me. So I said, because I can take it. So it's like it's becoming too sensitive. It's become, it's funny because I was talking to my friends, these Revere guys, Sagisis from Revere, Linfield. I grew up with them. Very tough guys. Anyone who's watching this, listening to this, or gonna listen to it, whatever, they're gonna know the Sagisis. I mean, they're just them kind of guys. Big, they look like Stallone, and 3 of them together. It's for real. They're in the Codfather episodes and everything.
They're not pussies.
Yeah, they're not. we were at Angelina's. We were at Angelina's Italian restaurant the other day having dinner. I call it a mafia meal, and we're having a mafia meal. Everybody gets together and talks about everything. And they were talking about when we were kids, we'd always, and I'm sure you guys, maybe you jump in, but we'd always pick on people, bust people's nuts, slap around, always, but when somebody got out of line and they were picking on a kid who was maybe didn't deserve that, you stepped in and say, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. Hey, what are you doing? because that's what you have to do in this world. You can't regulate everybody. You can't walk with your kid and hold his hand and chew his gum and wipe his ass when he's 28. You can't do that. You know what I mean? This generation is they're just a bunch of friggin', it's just a fucked up generation.
It is. And what I've been watching lately, and I'm like, I feel like people would lose their minds if this aired today. I've been rewatching the Dean Martin roasts.
Yeah. You couldn't get away with any of that today.
I love those.
Yeah.
I just watched the Sammy Davis Jr. roast and Don Rickles on that one. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I feel like the Comedy Central ones are still pretty fucking aggressive, and I watch them. It's like good because they're ready jokes. They're jokes. I'm not really fucking saying XYZ to fucking be. It's awful. Charlie, you're exactly right. Growing up, we'd bust balls. We'd say all sorts of stupid shit. But you're right. If you did get to a certain point, like, don't fucking pick on that kid. Fucking, he's got one leg.
And that's how hockey operates.
Exactly.
You know, they all run into each other, but if you go after, you know, the top goal scorer, someone's going to step in.
I'll fucking kill you. Right.
But nobody took care of Sammy Davis than Frank Sinatra. They all helped them out. They all did the right thing with the acts and the you know, letting them play in certain clubs. That's a different era and a different time. And to go back like we're doing today, and I don't really want to go too far on the road because we don't have 5 hours and 7 bottles of wine to figure out anything. Although I do have 5 hours and 7 bottles of wine.
Then here we go.
Bottle of wine, let's go.
I'm already lying. To go back 50 years, 100 years, 20 years, and start rewriting history.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Let's just come on. Let's just
learn from it.
Yeah.
Move on.
That's it. We're gonna go back and talk about people. If you had to do a racist or a nicist, I call it a nicist. You're not a. Are you a nicist? I go, well, because you're an asshole. I don't know if you were saying you're a nicest because you're a real prick. You know, I don't know if you're a nice person or whatever. So if you go back and look at those people in the Hall of Fame in all major sports, you take out 3/4 of the people that were not nice to people, treated people like bad, bullied people. I mean, you're gonna vote people in for the Hall of Fame based on their credentials on the field or based on their credentials as far as them being a nice person. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a different vote, right?
Right.
But also going back in time like that too, the words that some people use, they might not have been using it out of hate or anger. That's just the way they talked. Like, I'm like thinking about how, like, when they were getting mad at John Wayne, and I was like, well, of course he was racist. Look at when he was alive.
Right.
And then like, but some of the things they were saying, that's just how people talked. And now I'm thinking, like, what are we saying now that in like 70 years, they're going to be like, can you believe they said that? We need to take their pictures down.
I hope
but it was okay now.
Can you imagine that?
Oh,
look, if I get a statue, you guys damn make sure they don't take that shit down.
Fuck yeah.
Make sure that statue. I'm a good person. No, just kidding.
With the fucking statue with a fucking 10-foot tall mohawk. I'm a nice guy.
Bite me. It says bite me.
Right. So how much product do you have to put in your hair to get that to stay up?
Not much. I go down sometimes. I like it a little long. I shave the sides. And hey, real quick though, what do you think Richard Pryor and George Carlin and Lenny Bruce would be doing right now if they woke up from the dead and came back here?
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, especially Richard Pryor. You know, I mean, if you look at a movie like Blazing Saddles, right? I was watching that a couple weeks ago. And you couldn't make a movie like that now. And then you look at what the list of writers, and Richard Pryor is one of the writers for Blazing Saddles. Like Mel Brooks was like, this guy knows how to write funny lines. He knows how to make jokes and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know if I think George Carlin would be able to handle it. I don't know about Richard Pryor though.
Lenny Bruce was one that was the first kind of one that was just off the rails, and you know, I mean, the police are coming into his sets trying to arrest him, and you know, we it's funny because it's not too out of the realm of where we are now today when we were kids. If you think about that, Tipper Gore, you know, back in the 80s was trying to put, you know, limitations and parental guidance stickers on Metallica albums. And
Judas Priest.
Yeah, the only thing that would do is we as kids we'd run out to friggin' goddamn the record place and buy.
Oh, right. Yeah, that putting a label on those
seal.
Yeah,
that parental seal
was gold.
It made me buy everything.
Right, it was gold. Absolutely, it just helped sales, which is they were like, bring it on.
When NWA released their shit, I'm like, I want all of it.
I loved it. I love it today. I listened to it today.
You play fuck the police. Go. I don't
all of it.
They had issues with the cops in LA and they wrote about it. It was real fucking life. I'm not saying fuck the police, but I love that shit. I love it. The same fuckers check this out. The same fuckers that did that are the fuckers that bought WAAF, because we were all on AAF. You know, that thing got sold to Jesus like a year and a half ago. The same motherfuckers that were trying to silence Twisted Sister, that's that Christian fucking channel that now has more money than God, and they're buying all the rock stations to shut them down.
So God's in the radio business?
Fuck him.
Yeah. God is a business, Charlie.
I gotta get a meeting. I gotta get a meeting with this guy.
You gotta get a meeting with
I gotta get a meeting with Jesus.
Yeah. You gotta get the Jesus is the guy that's running it all. God just kind of collects. Jesus does all it,
Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I mean, it's good and all, I guess, but I'm not.
Is
really...
Jesus on Twitter?
Oh yeah, he is. He's hilarious too. Okay. Yeah. And God is on Twitter also. He is also hilarious.
I'm surprised they haven't been on Rogan yet.
Oh, right.
The only father that I'll ever listen to and I'll take advice from and I will give a confession to would be Father Guido Sarducci.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. He's the only guy. He's the only guy that I'll talk to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Father Guido Sarducci was. Remember him?
Oh my God.
His greatest thing was find the Pope in the pizza. Remember he had that contest? And it was like this close-up of a pizza, and then there was like a little photo of John Paul II, imposed on top of it. He's like, find the Pope in the pizza. That was one of the funniest things ever. Yeah. That was just great.
That's when Saturday Night Live was watchable.
Yeah, that's when they took chances. Right? They took chances then. Yeah.
Oh,
it wasn't just a political
not made for prime time group was fucking gold.
So Charlie, I was reading that you were in LA. I don't know how recent this is, but I was reading you were in LA and you were looking at some kind of sitcom deal, but you wanted more control and it didn't work out. Like what can you tell us like what kind of idea you had going in there?
Well, it was absolutely. It was we shot an episode of it, and it was well advanced to being a series, but it was very, very positive learning experience for me over a 3-year period. What I did learn was many things. One is that they have an ability to control everything and not necessarily for the better, number one. I was very happy to do the sitcom series called Mad Fish. It was actually they always say, what's the one-liner? Well, the one-liner was Craig T. Nelson, coach, meets, Home Improvement, lives next door to Roseanne. That's kind of like the line,
Yeah.
And so if you ever film with me and you're around my crew and you're, my wife, my kids, it's an encompassing, fun experience, but really when the camera's never off. So I'm never really off, and I'm just the same person when I'm grocery shopping as I am when I'm on the boat with Bobby Orr or Rick Middleton or whoever, Ted Nugent. So the show was about that. It was awesome. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I decided that they wanted to buy, the deal was done. The network was done. We're filming the episodes. They brought me in and they wanted to seal the deal for my intellectual rights, which means that they own the word Charlie Moore, Mad Fisherman, Codfather, Scarfish, everything. And so I said to them, they gave me a number and then I gave them a number in return. And then honestly,
their number.
Yeah, no,
your fucking number.
Honestly, I'll tell you, they gave me a number that was like 8 million or whatever. I'm not even lying. And I said, I'll do 16 million, and then they came back with honestly, 12 million. And I said to myself, I'm young. I'm like 12 million. I'm like, I get it, but I really don't want to do this. So I tried to work out a deal where there was no number and we were joint involved. And ultimately, to be honest, I'll fast forward the story because it's boring. Tim Allen is doing my sitcom. They sold it to Tim Allen. The Last Man Standing is a guy's guy, outdoor writer. That's my life. So I actually got paid for Tim Allen to do a boring version of what I would do. but you know, I mean, he did Last Man Standing. He's a, you know, outdoor writer, man's man, guy's guy, and that was based on the first season of The Last Man Standing. They did The Crazy Fisherman, which we told them, we sued them for that, and we won because that's
good.
You know, if you look at The Crazy Fisherman, that was based on my life. The whole series is based on my life. He basically bought the outline of it. But you know what? With the Netflix now and the Apple TV and all these great things that are going on, there will be a time where I'll be able to do a sitcom or like a sitcom, a hybrid based upon a few plans, ideas that I have that will be able to be creatively in control, you know, and then that'll make the difference.
Right.
They really come in and they just, you know, they really have a way of watering down some of this talented people out in LA. And it's I seen it. 3 years of watching it, I was like, God damn, it's there's some talented people out there, talented actors, talented comedians. And, you know, some of these writers, and they have to justify their jobs, and producers, and they really do that. I just told them all to go pound sand, and I left.
Good for you. That's not, it's the same way in the music industry. Mike and we can attest to it. How many bands have we talked to over the years of working in radio that the record company comes in, and I'm not saying they're all bad, but you get in there and you get fucked. You're super talented, and we'll sign you up, and we'll give you $50,000 up front, but then we're going to need 8 albums out of your ass.
Right.
But it's a good thing for entertainment too, because right now the artist is in control. Like the studio needs the artist more than they need the studio. Like you can kind of do it on your own now.
But they don't tell you that, and then you get in a situation, and not like Charlie, you're not a rookie at it, but you get in there, you get out there, and you're like, ooh, and you look at it and go, motherfuckers, it's greed. It's fucking greed is what it is. If you would just work with Charlie, not be like, I want to buy all your shit. Dude, if you'd signed that, all your shit would be gone, and you could never say your own fucking name again without having to pay for it.
Agreed. That was the deal exactly, that they would own
everything.
And forever.
That would go into your wife and your kids, like you said. On all of you is you. It's not just you here. It's everything with your wife and your guests in the boat. And I don't give a fuck if you're at Shaw's buying fucking roast beef. If they owned it.
No, plus they had a real tough schedule. Like they would make me get up early and go to the set. I'm like, this is like a fucking job.
Get up early. Come on. You're a fisherman. You're supposed to be up before the sun's up. You're supposed to be drunk by 8 o'clock.
I get to the water at 11,
man.
I cruise in with a breakfast sandwich. I cruise in with a breakfast sandwich and a latte.
The fish are still in the water at lunchtime.
You know, I'd really like to take the 12 million, but if I have to get up before 6,
I know, I'm like, no, it's kind of early. I'm not feeling it, you know? It was so much fun though. I met so many great contacts and people, and my friend Mike OMalley was a huge part of it. And Dennis Leary.
Oh yeah, Mike's great, man.
Yeah, Mike and Dennis Leary. Dennis Leary's been amazing friend, you know, doing Behind the Bee, and Mike OMalley and I still talk, and he always wants me to do these little things for him, and you know, roles, and you know, he talks about different projects that are going on. Mike and I will definitely collaborate on something at some day. He's super talented. He's a super nice guy. I have a couple concepts for I want to do a series on a Boston-based university that they're 3 brothers, and they coach the hockey team.
Nice.
And and 2 of the brothers marry Irish twins from Southie. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
I'm in.
The other guy, well, we might have to make the other guy gay just because we have to do that nowadays, you know what I mean? But that's fine, right? So he is
full opportunity.
Right. So he actually is, because this is actually loosely based on a true story. So the third brother's he's bisexual. So, but the father is absolutely kind of like a Ray Donovan father. You know, he's absolutely insane. You know, John Voight. Voight.
Oh man.
But great character in that show.
I know. He's the best.
He won't fucking die.
I know. And you know what? He still is killing it.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Well, he's a great actor.
yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's never really been a Lyndon Byers, LB did a thing with Michael J. Fox for a
Oh yeah. Hench at home.
But other than that, there's never been a real hockey kind of based series, you know? So the three brothers and the two girls that are twins and the father that's nuts, and you know, it's a really great concept. We've all been talking about it for 2 years, and COVID kind of put a cork on the project, but
The kibosh.
well, not a kibosh. I'm hoping just a
pause.
Yeah. I'm actually hoping it's a kibosh because I'm just too busy to do it.
I mean, you do have 75 shows going.
I know.
I can't do this shit if I have to get up before 6. Fuck off.
Yeah, really.
Anyone knows me, it's a true statement. And then they put all the itineraries together, and all my friends and my EPs are like, yeah, he's not.
He's not going to do that.
He won't. No, he's not even showing up for that.
But here's the deal, Josh, Mike, if we want to pitch him a show, the fucker don't get there till noon.
Jesus Christ.
No, if I got to get there, I'll get there. But if someone tells me to get there, then I won't get there.
All right, you get there anytime after 9.
My day's over at noon. You know?
Listen,
I get up at
3:30
in the morning, man, and it's like
no.
If I get up when it's
feel
light
like
out,
that.
I always think there's something wrong. You know, I've wasted my day. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck?
I remember being panicked when I used to see the sun when I was working on the Hillman morning show, and then like on the weekend the sun would be up. I'm like, no, my phone didn't go off.
Listen, if we work out a breaking the ice deal with the whole fucking Charlie Moore thing, Mike, cancel that fucking radio show and we'll all get up around 9.
You know who to call.
Right?
You know who to call if you want a TV series. I know a few people too.
That's fucking great.
So has your show been the longest running, the Mad Fisherman been the longest running on Nessun? I mean, there's no other shows that have like
country. In the country, as far as regional TV, it's been on 25 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's longer than The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Because they're only what, like 23 years or something like that, I think, or something like that.
Well, no, it's been. I wish I was lying, but I'm not. I feel like
We're getting fucking old.
I can't. I know. I'm like, I
don't say the number.
I just can't believe we were just listening to, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and listening to MC Hammer, and it was dancing around. Now I'm like, it's like that was like 30 years ago. I'm like, what? I'm like, no. That can't be possible.
In my fucking head, I pretend that Ride the Lightning just came out.
Right. Yeah.
Right there. Leave me right at 1984, and I'm good.
Charlie, on all those years, because you've worked with like, you had Tom Brady and I always call him this Mitt motherfucking Romney, and really just huge sports stars and celebrities and stuff. So who was the most fun to work with, even if they're not famous, or super famous? Who was the most fun to work with? Like, who got it?
This show right here.
I think you guys get it. I mean, Josh has been a friend for a while. I mean, I've texted him I remember being in the hot tub like 4 years ago in my house, texting having a cigar, texting Josh because he was going through some stuff or whatever, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I was, just good people are good people. I mean, I really don't have anyone who's not going to have good vibe, good energy. I think that's the problem with society today. I mean, there's not a good vibe. There's not a lot of good energy. There's a lot of negative energy. And it's just.
That's the fucking the media and social media fucked it all up.
Yeah. Social media, they should rename it, anti-social media.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but as far as the guest goes, again, I mean, it sounds like a cliche. I get that. But I really don't even set forth with anybody who I think is not going to be, fun.
Good.
Obviously, there's been some great shows I don't even know what I forgot more than I remember, and people remind me every single day, which I'm like, that's the biggest thing for me. I mean, that's my drug, I love when people tell me, hey, I watched that episode with Adam West. That was like 20 years ago, and people are like still talking about Adam West, and I'm like, and Adam texted me and talked to me till the day he died. And, that was Chuck Woolery. Chuck's like, Chuck Woolery and Ted Nugent and everybody. I mean, there's been so many great energy. But then, TV is supposed to be entertainment. TV is supposed to be fun. TV is supposed to be educational. And now TV is turning into I think, a platform for people's opinions, especially if you have money. And that's just ridiculous to me. So I think we need to get back to some basics. I think we need to lose the whole aspect of that side of it. When I grew up, it was Three's Company. I don't even know if you can air Three's Company anymore. And it's just back in the day, it was like, what a great light concept show. Now it's like a moral dispute. It's like, what? It's Jack Tripper.
Right.
Right.
Well, we wouldn't be able to air it because of Larry, I think. Larry would have ruined it for yeah. Larry was the really inappropriate guy in that show.
Womanizer.
Yeah, he was like the giggity goo guy, from Three's Company.
Right.
But also nobody's having fun on TV anymore either. Like, I feel like back then they were like, ooh, this is a new idea. Let's try this. And they were having fun with it. And I think maybe one of the reasons your show has been on for so long is because you're doing the show that you want to do and you're having fun. And then that translates and then people want to watch that.
Yeah. I mean, people love me. They hate me. They want to be me. They don't want to be me. What I really want to do is let everybody know that I really don't care. I'm just doing what I want to do.
Right.
And I'm having fun. And when I watch guys and girls on TV or people on TV that are just having a good time, I never say to myself, oh, look at them. They're having so much fun. I hate them.
Yeah.
They're assholes. Because that means you're the one with the problem.
You're the miserable one, right? Yeah.
You're fucking insecure.
Yeah, you're the one that look, as much as I have going on and what I'm doing, I'm a 30-minute episode. There's 24 hours of TV a day. There's other people on TV, Charlotte. You know what I mean? You don't own every network and every aspect of the world. So how comfortable are you to be around other talent? I prefer to surround myself with the top echelons of people, the top echelons of talent. I'd rather be in a room with 18 unbelievable TV hosts and actors than be the one guy in the room. Everyone's like, oh, I don't want to, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather be around other talent, talk to them, get to know them. Hey, what's going on? Because that to me is more beneficial and it's funner to me. Being around people gawking over you because they think you're whatever, that's uncomfortable. That's like,
well, if you're the only one in there, everyone's looking at you. Shit's going to go south. If there's 18
and you're not
going to
learn anything.
We can all network and talk and build off each other and feed. If you're standing there in that one spotlight, that's a little harder.
Well, there's a lot of people I know on TV that want to be in that one room with the one spotlight, and you do know
they're going to go shorter careers. I guarantee it. They'll go shorter because if it's a group of people, you're just going to fucking feed off each other and build better things.
Yes, and the fact that they might not be as talented as they think they are. So when they're in a room where they're being the man,
where they have to deliver,
then it's different when there's other people in the room. And because that's really what it comes down to. I just think that today's society, what we're doing with hey guys, let's talk about this. Let's step back. Podcasts, Netflix, all this stuff was supposed to be the stuff that was not able to air on network TV in the beginning, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And now all of a sudden Netflix is turning into like a version of ABC, CBS, and NBC.
Right. Yeah. Like hyper.
On steroids.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Well, doesn't that just prove what you were just saying though? It's like they Netflix, or whether it's a Hulu or whoever produces their own content. Yeah, Amazon, they produce their own content. It's what you were saying. It's like, well, ABC won't take it, but Netflix will let me do what I want. I'll get half the money and we'll have fun doing it. I think that comes through, and that's why people are going to that, because I think, like you said, the networks will water it down. They'll water down this concept and then they'll give it to the people, and people are like, yeah, that's pretty good.
In the beginning, yes. Now, no. There's nothing fun about doing business with Netflix.
Because they got real big fast.
There's nothing fun about doing business with Amazon. Amazon is an absolute 100% complete joke. And my series is on Amazon. It's absolute freaking joke. I mean, aside from the giant cock being launched into space.
Yes, the giant cock. Yes.
It's absolutely a joke.
Yeah.
dealing with Hulu. Hulu was before Amazon, before Netflix.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they were doing what Netflix was doing when Netflix was still a mailbox company.
So it's almost like you need to go from, okay, here are the networks. We've moved on Netflix, networks to Netflix to what is going to be the next thing, because there fucking will be. I mean, shit's moved so quickly to look at what we're doing. Used to be a radio station, now it's this. Look at what your show was like. 25.
And look how huge we got. Yeah.
Oh, there's at least 5 people watching this thing.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
4 of us and my wife downstairs,
and my mom. Yeah, that's great.
but the point is, what's gonna be? There will be the next platform that, because Netflix has to be just the biggest fucking thing on the planet. And Amazon, you're probably right. It's a pain to work with. What do you think the next thing will be? Who's going to come up with that? I don't think anybody can answer that. That's the question, though, because that'll be where someone like you goes, dude, he keeps the shit fun. Put him out there.
But so look, I think what we have now is amazingly unbelievable. Sitting on a plane, watching a series on your phone. I mean, just like streaming from your phone to your TV. I mean, what we have right now, I think, is absolutely amazing. But for 1 minute for anyone to think that the major players involved in all these networks are not involved in the streaming services.
Right.
Let's face it, ESPN missed the streaming service. ESPN but they, look at them. They came back with Disney. They pooched the hooch 8 years ago, and they came back and they absolutely rewrited their mistake. Very few people can do that, i.e. Blockbuster and certain things. And there's a really cool limited series run on Netflix about that whole Blockbuster thing.
That's great.
That's great. Yeah,
that's fantastic. It's amazing how they went to, like, Netflix went to Blockbuster to try to say, hey, we'll sell you. It was some ridiculous number. It was like $18 million or something like that. We'll sell, you buy us for 18 million, we'll walk away. And Blockbuster like laughed them out of the room and said, why we're going to, your plan isn't going to work. Your model is flawed. And then it was like, and then they were
like
struggling.
people laughing at podcasts 5 years ago. People would be like, "Oh,
right.
Okay."
Oh, people laughed at Apple back in the day. Remember when it was a regular Apple and it had like multiple colors? And it's like, what's a fucking Apple? What's an Apple? That stock split 90 times. Fuck you.
I know.
You.
No, but I think that if you're naive enough to believe that these major players are not embedded in what we're dealing with and talking about right now, then you're not really in tune to what's going on.
They have to be involved because they have all the fucking money.
That's it. Well, it's business. Business is 101. How do you really get big? You buy the competition. You don't grow. You don't grow by one viewer or one propane subscriber. You buy a propane company with 5,000 customers. You don't build by one customer. So,
and get that propane at Obashan Hardware
or Eastern Propane Oil and Propane. It's fine.
Either fucking one. Either one for the sponsors.
If you look at Ma Bell back in the 80s, remember the government came in and they broke up the monopoly of Ma Bell.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you look at the TV industry today, oh boy, I mean,
Amazon just bought MGM. What the fuck?
I don't even know
less
how
and less companies.
How was that not bigger than Ma Bell in the 80s? Is my point. It's huge.
Right.
That's everything MGM. That's everything that lion roar motherfucker ever did. Like, what? You just bought all the James Bond, all the shit.
Yep.
Okay, you win.
And you launched a giant dick into space.
Just like Dr. Evil.
It really is. This is literally a dick measuring contest. It literally is. It's no longer about space exploration. We're doing it so our future generations can travel and explore. No, it's about, look at my cock. Look at my giant cock.
Because we're all going to space in the next 10 years, right?
Oh, yeah, right. I got an extra 23 million to get I Sure. Yeah.
That was the Kutcher.
I'll use my Charlie card.
I'll take economy. Like, give me economy. I mean, come on. I mean,
Ashton Kutcher was going to go. There was some fucking article that his wife fucking, like, I don't know, bitched his way out of it. But like, there was a ticket to go to space for like $250,000. I'm like, what the fuck? Really? To ride up?
That's Branson.
Ride back down? Really?
Branson's like the JetBlue of the space race right now.
Oh, I see.
And Bezos, Bezos is like the Dubai Air or something like that.
Right.
You know,
at least Branson has an aura about him, and he's done so many different things with Virgin Records and certain different stuff.
yeah.
I kind of have a little, in a weird kind of odd way, I have a lot of respect for him, and he's always
The
out
accent
there.
helps.
Yeah, and the hair.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I mean, he's always out in front of the media, and he carries himself, I think, very well. And he's done so many positive things. The other guy, Jeff, I mean, I get it because he's so.
Bezos looks like a fucking puppet. He's
in a Michael Jackson world, though. You know, I mean, he's in a Michael
Yeah.
Jackson kind of like. It's amazing.
Wait a second, Michael Jackson and Neverland, and Bezos flying a cock into space. Oh yeah, it's pretty much
Well,
the same.
Bezos
Right?
is just dead behind the eyes. He just reminds me of everyone that lives in Wellesley. You know, it's just.
Oh,
Ooh, Wellesley got taking a hit, huh?
Oh, fuck
I know
them.
people in Wellesley. And
Nobody
so
in Wellesley's fucking gonna watch this. Fuck them. Jesus
have
Christ.
huge-
Andrew
Wellesley.
Raycroft lives in Wellesley. I'm not talking about him.
oh, that's right. Andrew does live in Wellesley.
I'm not invited to his house anymore.
No, you are. I just think that it's been a great time for the promotion of the episodes. It's you know, as far as TV and just getting it out there. I mean, some of the cool things of streaming services and all these other cool things, but it's all owned by literally, if you break it down and look at the big picture,
5 people.
much, yeah, like, you know, you're talking everybody that's they're not, there's no, you know, we had ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC. Yeah, when we were there. And then all of a sudden, you know, guys, I remember, I don't know about you guys, I don't know how old you are, if you're younger than me or whatever, which is fine, but I remember when I was a kid and they were like wiring the goddamn neighborhoods for cable TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I think that we're the same age, Charlie. And like, I remember when cable finally came to Natick, and it was just like, it was my neighborhood. South Natick had cable like a whole year before, you know, the fucking rest of Natick had it, because they were just an annex of Wellesley. But I remember that day, and the first thing I said to the cable guy goes, "You're all set." My parents weren't home; they were at work, and he's like, "You're all set." And I said, "Turn it on MTV right now." And that's the first. And I sat there for 4 hours until my parents came home and watched like 4 hours worth of MTV. It was such a huge literally a window to the world right
And
there.
remember Thriller came on every half hour on
Right.
the hour when Thriller came out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would run to my TV with my Chess King jacket on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And what's amazing is about that, they would show it like every half hour, and it was I think it was an 11-minute video, and they would show the whole thing.
Right.
So it would take up what? It was like a quarter or more than a quarter of every
like
hour.
40 minutes. It was like 45 minutes of the 11 times 4. What's that? You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
like
it was
mostly the
insane.
hour.
But people wanted it. People ate it up, and that was the only place you could see it. You got to read if you know, they just had their 40th anniversary, and I reread some of this book called I Want My MTV, and if you loved MTV back in the day, it's by Rob Tannenbaum. Great book. It's written kind of testimonial style, and they talk to everybody, the artists and the producers and the people that just sat in the control room and stuff. The greatest thing about MTV was MTV, as when it was presented, when they launched it, was developed by two guys who only had two good eyes between them.
Really?
Bob Pittman and Les Garland. Now, Pittman went and he ran Clear Channel and, you know, iHeart. And Les Garland was a big like record company guy. They both had glass eyes. All right. So one of the greatest visual mediums ever created was run by two guys who only had two good eyes between them.
They could share binoculars.
It's just fucking hilarious. For some reason, it's just hilarious to me.
Right.
You know,
Glass eyes.
yeah, they would tell story in the book. Someone told a story about Les Garland. He liked to just grab an intern at random, and it wasn't a creepy thing at all. And he'd take him out on the town with a bunch of other people, and they'd party it up, and then they'd all go back to his place, and he'd like make like this late night meal for everybody. And he'd keep the intern close, and he'd talk to the intern and give them all this advice. And while he was giving the advice, he'd tap his glass eye with a butcher knife while he was cooking. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Which is, I think is fucking great. You want to make a
That
point.
is awesome.
You want to make a fucking point, man. Les Garland knew how to make a fucking point, man. You would remember every word he said because he was making that tap, tap, tap with a knife on his eye.
Yeah, that would do it, man. That freak.
Tommy Lee had a Tommy Lee had a great fucking thing on Instagram for the birthday of MTV. It said, happy 40th birthday. Thanks for 15 years of music.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Now, see, when I was a kid, MTV was just Road Rules.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It was, those videos were fucking awesome. I would sit there for hours too. That shit snapped on in what, like 79, 80 or whatever. And you're just like, I still had a remote control to fucking wire.
I think it was 1980. 80.
Yeah, it was 80, and it was like only in Paramus, New Jersey. That was the only cable system that would take them. So they all had to drive to a bar in Paramus to watch the first night of MTV launching.
Oh my God.
And then the first 24 hours of MTV, I also think this is an amazing fact. REO Speedwagon was the most played artist, and they were played like 11 or 12 times in the first 24 hours.
Really?
Only because
and the first video was what? Wasn't it? Video played the radio.
Video
star?
Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles. Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah, but I think REO Speedwagon 1 had already had the videos produced and already gave their permission to use that. And it wasn't just from like high infidelity. It was like old live videos and stuff. They were just scraping everywhere they could to get video at first. So they were just taking, and you would see so many fucked up artists on MTV in the first couple of years because they were the only ones making videos.
Right.
Well, yeah, you're just like, oh fuck, we're 24 hours. Shit.
We need more videos.
Not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed those times. I mean, but that's when the cable popped, and then CNN came on, and then I remember I had early conversations with MTV about sports and stuff, and I had early conversations. I have letters I've saved from MTV correspondence back and forth several times. Then they did the whole who was that? Was it Joe Rogan? Who was that guy? Shoot, did the MTV stuff. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, he did this stuff on MTV sports. But then I was with A&E too as well, talking about all getting shows, and because they would have all the crime stuff on there in the beginning, all the time. Yeah,
true crime.
Curtis.
Bill Curtis? Was it Bill Curtis?
Bill Curtis. Yeah, he was on like 24/7. The guy. Yeah. So he had a great voice. Oh my God, his voice was amazing. But so it's amazing. So you see these networks start to pop up. It's no different than that 1980 cable. You can apply it to what you're seeing now with the streaming, the Netflix and the Hulu and what have you. We're in the future. Wow, I think the future will have, honestly, a hybrid of what we have now, but it will be very much like when they started this whole streaming thing. We're going to cut the cord. But now you have to pay for Wi-Fi and every other service. It's more money than just getting cable. It's like, wait, what happened?
Right, but you do have, I said the same thing, because it's like finally all my streaming services piled up. I'm paying nearly just as much as I was paying with cable, but you do have more control.
Right.
Because you don't have 600 channels and you're only watching like 10 of them, maybe. Right. So you have more control over your stuff. You know what I think the future is going to be, because you see a little bit more and more of this every day, is the virtual reality thing, and you're going to be able to put yourself in the show.
Really?
So that's what I think it's going. So that's what I think the next step is going to be. So you're going to have, Charlie Moore, whatever your show is, and then you're going to be sitting on the boat next to Charlie Moore with whoever, Ted Nugent or whoever your guest is, and you'll be on the boat. That's what the virtual reality thing is leading to.
There's no question. I work with a company with the stuff that I do, that AR, VR, it's called XR as a whole. It'll blow your fucking mind what you can do in the virtual space. The gamers know it, but when you hit it right on the head, where I can sit on the boat with Charlie Moore, that can happen. The augmented reality one is even bigger, because that's through the lens of your phone. Right. So when your phone and you go down to Polar Park, for example, and you hold it up and it points at a target, the hologram comes up and it's right fucking there. That could be, you could go to fucking Obashan Hardware and hit something and boom, Charlie Moore comes up. I mean, dude, it's happening. I was just at a meeting today with a credit union. It's not the future. It's fucking now. Dell.
It's slowly, there's more and more VR stuff coming in. And I experienced that at the PAX conventions, and I'm not even a gamer. So, but I was there and I did a couple of virtual reality games. It's so amazing. Like, I started feeling nauseous
Yeah.
Is it one of those ones where you're on a treadmill and like you're actually walking too in the game?
Well, this one, it was kind of like I was on some kind of like roller coaster type of thing.
Oh.
And soon your mind just, starts to believe it. And like I could feel like that roller coaster feeling, like that your insides going up and down and stuff like that. It's
Charlie, get one of those. Facebook has the Oculus. Put your head in one of those. Fuck around with it for a while and call me, because that shit's.
I was thinking about bringing back a different version of the Rubik's Cube, but you guys are blowing me away, man.
But that would be so cool with the like the idea of being on the boat with Charlie, because it's kind of funny that like back in the day, like a career goal would be to like be on Carson, and now it's like to be on Rogan or something. And I remember when I first started in comedy, I was like, I think I just want to get to a place where I get successful enough that I end up on the Mad Fisherman Show.
I appreciate.
I was like, then I know I'm doing
now
well.
We can do it.
So I'm not doing great.
We can do it through a virtual reality lens.
Not doing great. It's kind of okay.
Well,
it's kind of like you made it. I'll settle for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll settle for a pet rock.
Charlie, thanks a lot for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. We know, like Josh said, you've got 600 shows that you're producing, writing, whatever you're hosting, whatever. So what's like, what should we look for next from you?
I appreciate you guys having me on. You guys are awesome. I'd like to be on again if that's cool. And
whatever you want.
Yeah, let me know when, and let's hopefully you guys will continue to have a good summer. And looking forward to the Bruins season coming up this year, and hopefully we'll talk more about the Bruins when the season starts, and I'll get back on, and hopefully we'll be in a good space then. But thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah,
no problem, man.
Anytime.
And also, everyone go pick up a copy of New Hampshire Magazine. Is it? You're on the cover for August.
Exactly.
Wow. Is there a centerfold?
Is it
do they even
tastefully
have
done?
Centerfolds anymore? They don't even have. Nobody looks at a magazine for porn anymore. What am I saying?
I don't know. It's a whole new world for us
That's
guys.
a whole other thing. Yeah, that's. Jeez, oh man.
And that brings us back to virtual reality.
Exactly right. That's where it really makes the money, or the money shot.
On again, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right,
yeah,
Charlie.
absolutely. Thanks so much for coming on, man.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Good luck.
Appreciate you.
This is Brad Marchand, and you're listening to Breaking the Ice with Josh Dolan. I don't think he would ever let a pizza get out the door before he buried the whole thing, so he likes to eat that kid.